What's up, friends? Welcome back to Coffee Time with Alice. Hope y'all are doing really good out there. So this week I want to talk about another one of my favorite TV shows, The Twilight Zone. Oh yeah. If you're watching this video, chances are you probably like The Twilight Zone. It was a show that initially ran in the late 50s and early 60s. Hosted by Rod Serling, also created by Rod Serling, and he wrote quite a few episodes on there. Definitely a man who was ahead of his time. But if I have to find a way to describe the Twilight Zone using labels of any sort, it borders science fiction and fantasy, bringing that alternative reality vibe. But the themes that it covers definitely apply to the here and now. Like, it applied to what was going on during the late 50s and early 60s, and it very much applies to 2025. So they also did a reboot in the 2000s, which was really cool, but the one that sticks out the most is the original. If you've never seen it, I highly suggest you check it out. It's streaming on a lot of different services like Hulu and Prime and probably many other sites, so definitely check it out. But real quick, I want to tell you my top 5 favorite episodes, not going in any particular order. Number 1, Eye of the Beholder. This episode is about a woman who's in the hospital getting some procedures done so that she won't be ugly anymore. And her whole face is bandaged up, and we don't see what's under the bandages until the very end, where we get the twist and pretty much what we take away from this episode. I'm not going to spoil any of this stuff, any of this, because, if you've never seen it, seeing it for the first time is dope. It just is like, oh my gosh. So yeah, Eye of the Beholder, great themes, great plot, very well acted, and the cinematography is brilliant. And speaking of brilliant cinematography, number 2, Walking Distance. The use of wide angles in this one are nothing short of brilliant. This one is about a guy in his mid-30s who is feeling run down in life, just overwhelmed. And so he goes back to his childhood town and, well, some interesting stuff happens and he ends up learning an important lesson. That one, also, great themes, great plot. It's a classic. Definitely check that one out. Another one that I enjoy, and it's not considered a classic, I will say that some of the execution of it is a little clumsy for a Twilight Zone episode, but still, it's still very well done. Like, even the clumsiest of Twilight Zone episodes are brilliant. But it's about this guy who's extremely eccentric and doesn't really fit in a lot of places. Doesn't fit in at his job, the landlady doesn't like him, the neighborhood kids love him, and some of the other people passing by, they find inspiration from his uniqueness, but he's given an opportunity to have more success in life, but he has to become someone else. And that raises a very interesting question, and yeah, I recommend checking it out. It's got a good heart. Another classic episode that tops a lot of people's best Twilight Zone episode lists is the Obsolete Man. If you've ever watched the Rocky series, Rocky 1, 2, and 3, the guy who played Mick actually stars in this one. But it's about a librarian who's about to be put to death by a totalitarian state because his job is considered obsolete. And he ends up having a conversation with the Chancellor, and this is the crux of the episode, and it's brilliant, and it's yeah, highly recommend watching that. Definitely stuff to think about here in 2025. And then finally, to finish this list out, this is an episode I more recently came across. The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. This is about this neighborhood that loses power and all the appliances turn off, even the radios don't work, the cars won't turn on. And this teenager who was reading a comic book suggested that aliens caused it, and this causes suspicion among all the people, and a lot of the things that end up happening from that, they make a little too much sense nowadays. But yeah, just to quickly list them off one more time. Eye of the Beholder, Walking Distance, Mr. Beavis, The Obsolete Man, and The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Those are my top 5 Twilight Zone episodes, although that was a hard list to come up with because there's so many brilliant episodes. So yeah, if you have seen the show, what are some of your favorite episodes? I would love to hear your top 5 list. But yeah, hope you all are doing good, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.